Good day everyone! My name is Teacher Claire. Welcome to another lesson on assessment of learning. In our previous lesson, we talked about effective assessment tools. Today, we will be discussing about students' portfolio. The learning objective of this lesson is to explain the meaning, uses, and elements of student portfolio. So what is a student's portfolio? Portfolio is a systematic process and purposeful collection of students' work documenting their own learning performance. It is a systematic process that assesses students' growth on certain skills. It also follows a well-organized collection of products of students' academic assignments, projects, revisions, and work samples. If you will ask me, what are the uses of portfolio? So, portfolio is used to help teachers in evaluating students' learning progress by comparing early work to later work. Second, it is used to review students' work to determine if the students have met the established learning standards set for the course or subject. Actually, with this, you are allowing your students to monitor their own learning. Next, students can use it as a means to have their personal reflections of their academic goals and progress. And lastly, it can be used as learning evidences showcasing students' achievements or learning outcomes. So if you are a teacher who is planning to require the making of students' portfolio, then you should take note the following elements to it. First, the cover sheet or cover letter. This page describes the kind of portfolio the students are expected to complete, which ultimately serve as evidence of their learning. This page will also reflect the learning outcomes of the students as it gives the overall description of students' expected learning outputs. For instance, in MSU, we require our practice teachers to include this cover page for easy guidance. We also have the table of contents. This includes the title of each work sample and its corresponding page number. The common error of students in doing this table of content is the lack of accuracy in reflecting each page number. Third, we have the autobiography. These are actually the students' written entries of their favorites, likes, dislikes, past experiences, and other information requisite for teachers to understand the background of his or her students. Fourth, we have personal goals. These are statements whereby students are stimulated to write the things they are good at and skills they need to enhance in a particular subject or course. Fifth, we have the work samples. These are entries that serve as basis in assessing students' work. This can be in the form of episodes, homework, worksheets, tests, or observations. Here are the sample learning outputs to serve as evidences that indeed learning takes place. Sixth, the draft. Students are encouraged to make their own drafts as initial step or starting point while doing their analysis at the same time while they're still completing the gathering process of their learning evidences. We also have self-reflections. These are usually the students or group members' analysis of learning insights. As a guide, a teacher is encouraged to include questions that can facilitate the assessment of the students. So those were the basic elements in doing students' portfolio. At this juncture, we will discuss other elements that can be included in crafting students' portfolio. First, we have the purpose of portfolio. This page will present the objectives explaining why various authentic representation of students' learnings of their current knowledge and skills were collected. Student resume. This student's resume can also be included if the teacher would like to know some personal information and educational background of their students. Lastly, we have rubrics. In our institution, we usually include rubrics so that our students will be aware of the evaluative criteria on how their outputs will be rated. In this way, it gives them a clear picture on how to prepare their work in progress learning outputs if they desire to achieve higher ratings. So, in summary, we define portfolio as a systematic process and purposeful collection of students' work documenting their learning performance. Teachers use portfolio in order to evaluate students' learning progress, review students' work, at the same time allow students to monitor their own learning. Then, it can also be used to encourage students in doing their personal academic reflections. And lastly, it is used as students' learning evidences. Moreover, we also learn the elements in making students' portfolio, which are as follows. We have the cover sheet or cover letter, table of contents, we have autobiography, personal goals, work samples, draft, reflections, purpose of portfolio. We have also students' resume. We can also include rubrics. So that's all for our lesson on students' portfolio. Here's my references for the content of this video. If you want to download this presentation in PDF file, click the link in this video description. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video. Once again, this is Teacher Claire.